Hey guys, welcome back to another video on Norse paganism and mythology. This is my fourth video on the topic, and I hope you enjoy. So in today's video, we're going to go over the 9 worlds of Norse mythology. And before we start talking about each of the 9 worlds individually, I think it's essential to note that the number 9 seems to hold a special reverence for the Old Norse, and that there's a variety of examples from Old Nordic texts and stories that include the number 9. The fact that Hemdlar was born to 9 mothers, and that there are 9 worlds in the Nordic universe. The fact that Odin hung himself for 9 nights on the windy tree, Havramal, and the fact that Freyr had to wait for 9 nights for his marriage to the goddess Gerd. And it has been hypothesized that the number 9 comes from the Germanic calendar of 27 days, since 9 is a multiple of 27. I also think it's essential to note that no complete codified source gives us a list of exactly which worlds comprise the 9, but based on the kinds of beings found in Norse mythology and references to their homelands in different sources, we can compile a rather tentative reconstruction of these worlds. So the first 2 worlds I want to talk about are Midgard, the world of humanity, and Asgard, the world of the Aesir tribe of gods and goddesses. So the world of Midgard would be the normal human world that we know today, and it does all the earth things that we know it to do, but it would have been heavily influenced by all the stories and magic and runes of the Norse mythology. Just like with the early religions of Egypt and Greece and Rome, the Germanic peoples would have used religion and gods and goddesses to justify different things happening in nature. On the other hand, the world Asgard is the home of the gods of the Aesir tribe, and it's home to the 5 realms of Asgard, which are Valhalla, Folkvangir, Bifrost, Heimenborg, and Blixgenir, as well as all the dwellings of the Aesir gods. So the next 2 worlds that I want to talk about are Hel and Vanaheim. So the word Hel definitely sounds familiar to a lot of people, and it's because Hel in Norse paganism and Hel in Christianity come from the same root word from the Germanic language. And while Hel in Christianity is described as eternal suffering and a terrible place to go, Hel in Norse paganism is generally cast in a neutral or even positive shadow, and it's a place where the dead live on in some capacity, and it's portrayed as a land of abundant life on the other side of death. The dead in Hel would spend their time doing the same kinds of things that Viking Age men and women did, eating, drinking, fighting, sleeping, and so forth, and it wasn't a place of eternal bliss or torment, but simply a continuation of life somewhere else. So the other world I want to talk about is Vanaheim, and this is the world of the Vanir tribe of gods and goddesses. The Vanir tribe of gods and goddesses are a much more primitive and natural collection of gods than the Aesir tribe of gods, and it's said that Vanaheim is a much more primitive and natural world than Midgard or Asgard. So the next 3 worlds I want to talk about are Jotunheim, the world of giants, Alfheim, the world of elves, and Svartalfheim, the world of dwarves. So the giants are actually described as being the first beings in the world of Norse mythology, and their world is described as a deep, dark forest with mountain peaks where winter never eases its grip, with similar and inhospitable, grim landscapes. So Alfheim, the world of elves, is not described anywhere in literature, but the elves themselves are described as being luminous and more beautiful than the sun, so we may assume that their homeland was a gracious realm of light and beauty as well. So the next world we're going to talk about, Svartalfheim, is the world of dwarves, and the dwarves are actually master smiths and craftsmen who live beneath the ground. And accordingly, Svartalfheim was thought of as a labyrinth, a subterranean complex of mines and forges that the dwarves worked in and lived in and did all their regular dwarf activities. So before we talk about the next 2 worlds, we have to talk about Gimuingap. It's the bottomless pit that was all there was prior to the creation of the cosmos, and into which the cosmos will collapse once again during Ragnarok, the twilight of the gods. So from this abyss came Niflheim and Muspelheim. Niflheim is the premortal world of ice, and Muspelheim is the premortal world of fire. from these two worlds we get all the elements and resources that the Norse pagans knew about, and it was really their centerpiece and the glue that held the world together. Hey, if you got this far in the video, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll hope to see you next time. Bye.